Oh, I have to enter.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, unfortunately, Brent is still dealing with some technical difficulties.
Whoa.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think that's Bryn. Bryn, your voice is distorted to the matter that I can't understand anything you're saying anyway. So just letting you know.
I think Brent is saying something to the effect of, "You will witness me." I think that's what she said.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll enter in voice chat. It's
Hey,
definitely
So
happening.
the question, are we recording, Mikhail?
Yep, I'm going. So whenever you guys
All
are
right.
ready.
So the question is, which does your character idealize more, happiness or success?
Correct. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting echo?
No.
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 Okay. Oh, wow. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
I'm doing my own tests. Just go ahead. Yes.
All right. Somebody. Which do you prefer? Which is more important to your character?
Happiness. He's definitely living a moment, kind of gimbal.
Okay. Lunara?
I'd honestly say success.
Oh, no, I can totally see that.
Like, she's kind of spent her whole life running around and running away from things that made her unhappy, but she never really sought out happiness either. She just kind of stuck to herself. But when she puts her mind to something, she wants to get it done. So I'd say success.
Mm-hmm. And I think, Lunara, this was definitely the case at the beginning of the game. I don't know how much has changed since then, but Lunara seemed like somebody who had a bit of priority issues. She seemed like somebody that would be like, make some bad decisions in order to like make a lot of money, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think part of that is like I'm sure happiness is important to her, but she probably does not take care of herself very well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Holgard's going to say happiness. And it's kind of contradictory. I agree. Because he's like, objective oriented. But I just want to think there's a part of him that's seeking happiness.
What about Tamara? She's the one you're gonna be playing as today.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. It's tomorrow. Hold on. Come back to me. Ask someone else. Come back in a second.
I guess Azra, since Sabek is kind of not in the picture right now.
Azra sees happiness and success as one and the same. If Azra is not able to do what Azra wants to do successfully, Azra is not happy.
That's a kind of it's a kind of childish viewpoint, which I really like.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very fitting. Good job.
Sabek, on the other hand, Sabek doesn't really care about happiness. He sees happiness more as a frivolous pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
And he defines himself by his actions. So success in that light would be his tops.
Now, correction to all of that. You do need to correct it from the present tense to the past tense.
True.
Sabek did not care about happiness. He does not care about anything because he's dead.
That's true. Well, I mean, this is a world where the metaphysical and the supernatural is real, So death isn't.
He might not be dead. He might just.
All I'm saying is that this is a world of. I'm saying this is a world of gods and magic and spirits and like all kinds of shit like that. So being dead is like, okay, you're just in another parallel dimension.
Side quest: we need to go see Miracle Max.
I mean, side quests, we could all just watch the trailer for Fast 9. Time is
No.
irrelevant.
Absolutely
Sebek-
not.
Sebek can literally come back at any time. It does not matter. In that vein, though, I would like to say for Wex, I would definitely think that Wex cares so much more about success, but he sees success kind of tied directly to his happiness, and his happiness is kind of getting closure.
That wasn't me.
We should have good internet. What do you think about Ronan, Mikhail?
I'm pretty sure Ronan cares about happiness, more than success, but would never say.
I like that.
Yeah,
Secret
like if
softy.
you ask up front, like, yo, no, I care about the money and I care about watching our clan grow, but like for real, it's like I'd like to just be happy, and I don't think that he's had time to really sit down and think about what happiness looks like to him.
Okay, so Tamara wants to be happy. So she loves the animals and nature. Really not looking to like profit. But yeah, I want to think that she wants to be happy.
Yeah, I get the impression that Tamara doesn't really measure her life by like distinct accomplishments the way that a lot of more air quotes civilized people would.
Yeah, I hope so.
She doesn't have that big city rush and ruffle lifestyle. Alright. Let me get a shot of this drink real quick. Oh god. I'm currently drinking out of a day-old McDonald's cup
Gross.
because after an 8.5-hour tattoo yesterday, I was driving home at like 8:30 p.m. and my tattoo artist's last instructions to me before I left were go find some trashy, shitty food to eat. I followed the instructions to the letter.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Alright, kiddos. I'm logging into Roll20 now. Also, I have to say, I ate a Big Mac and it was depressingly way less rewarding than I thought it would be.
Aww.
Well, that's good, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Or you just got a shitty Big Mac.
That's true. You know what? McDonald's was the only thing
Shit
like
Mac.
on my way home, but I feel like what I needed to go all the way and get like some Five Guys.
Yes.
Just drown myself in garbage food.
I would like oil with a side of meat.
Yeah. Oil with a side of meat and then a slight side on the side of that of bread. And that's
Yeah.
And give me all the peanut.
and all the peanuts.
A tiny bread hors d'oeuvre.
Okay. So everybody is on Roll20? Yes?
Yeah.
You're
I am. I'm looking at a map.
All right, we're looking on a map. So, you guys, basically, we need to start with what happened between the Vindendode crashing and you guys blowing the horn. I vaguely recall you guys saying this. You did at one point meet up with the giants, right? Harshnag and Zephyros. And I think part of that was because your ride is totally fucked.
Yes.
Yeah. As Mikhail was referencing earlier, you guys kind of Fast and the Furious your ride. All right, so you guys are with Harshnag and Zephyros. You have a crippled Vilhyros. You have the magical conch of teleportation. And Zephyros can explain to you that one person can blow it, or that person can draw a like ritual circle around themselves and teleport every person in that circle. So you guys can teleport the whole party and as many people as you want to bring, up to, you know, a reasonable limit. So what this is the equivalent of like that scene in any good JRPG where you are about to like enter the final dungeon and it gives you that little pop-up that says like, hey, we might not be able to come back for a long time. Have you taken care of all your business? You guys see a pop-up that says that on the screen. What do you
While the party is trying to decide and discuss this, Azor would probably be sneaking toward the conch, just trying to get a hold of it. Like, ooh, that's really interesting looking. And someone, I'm not sure who, probably Lunara, would like continually smack his hands away.
Yeah,
it's
But-
so
absolutely.
good.
I'd be shoving it deeper into my pockets, like, get away.
And like with every other smack, like a little bug would come out.
Okay. That's one point. Let's go ahead and address that first. I want to address what happens with Vilhyros and what happens with Sabak, because you guys intend to, you know, do anything about your buddy who's a zombie and has lost his consciousness?
Is there anybody in the party that knows more about that? Like, anything that we possibly could do? Can Azra still feel him?
What's the problem, guys? I'm perfectly fine.
What? Where did the old Sabek go? That's what Gimbal wants to know. Where'd he go, guy? Why are you so nice on him?
He's somewhere. Don't worry about that. I'm here. You guys know me. There's no big deal. There's no problem. I'm just little. Oh God, my fingernails. One of them just fell off. Everything's fine.
Okay. Anybody who wants to ask some questions about what might happen to a person when they die can roll a religion, or maybe it's called knowledge religion check. That should be one of the skills. Yeah, there's a religion skill.
For what it's worth, I'm not gonna do that roll because I feel like Azra kind of already knows what's going on.
Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. He is an astral dragon, so
Yeah.
it makes sense that he might have
Like-
some insight into like the what's going on.
Yeah. Like I would imagine Azra doesn't have full detail or doesn't know exactly the exact detail of everything, but he has a much better idea of things, and due to that is just like, this is no worries. I already
Sure.
know what's going on.
By the way, guys, I'm sitting fairly far away from my mic.
Damn, Lex.
Are you guys getting good volume from me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Once
okay.
again, you're coming in pretty good.
Fantastic.
Wex got a pretty high roll.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I have a
Ronan.
specific reason why I want to know.
And that makes sense that you would know too, considering you're from another world.
Well, I guess technically.
But this isn't
my
Wax.
role is Ronan.
Oh shit, my bad.
Ronan right now.
Never mind.
So, yeah. So Ronan, I think that you probably studied a little bit of religion, partially to blend in, and partially since your family is a troupe. I think that religion is often tied into cultural plays and performances and stuff. I mean, I can say, at least from the few cultures I can think of, religion is deeply influential on all forms of art and theater and stuff. So I imagine that some amount of religion just through having acted in these plays and stuff. So when a person dies, meaning, actually, I don't know if your person would know the medical definition of death, but they get injured real bad, they fall over, and they stop breathing and shit. Traditionally, that is the theology behind that is that bodies have a soul, and the soul leaves the body to pass through the astral realm and into the I think it's called like the luminous realm, the radiance something. Basically the realm of the afterlife, the realm that spirits go to after this world.
The far plane.
Yeah, that sounds correct. Assume what you probably can assume happened is that Sabek died, his body passed through, or his soul passed through the astral plane and passed into the far plane. And while because Azra was already a being of the astral realm that had a connection with Sabek's physical body, you can assume that this is probably it's probably not very different than the idea of like a demon possessing a corpse or something like that. It is a spiritual entity that has reanimated, in air quotes, Sabek's corpse. Does that answer any pertinent questions?
It kinda does. So I have two follow-ups. Number one, can the corpse be exorcised?
Well, so right now...
Why would you say such a thing?
So right now, Sabek's soul does not appear to be in there. Given just like your rough understanding of this stuff, you can go seek, seek better advice from somebody. But right now, if you exorcise Azra from the body, then it would just be a corpse.
Okay.
And at that point, I mean,
Azra is giving Ronan like the deadly eyes right now.
There might be something to the idea that keeping the body up and moving with, by having Azra in it might make it a better host if you guys did find a way to get Sabek's soul back. But until you get Sabek's soul back, it's a moot point. And also, Sabek's soul back?
Also,
fun.
Sabek soul back, Sabek soul back.
Tongue
Yes.
twister. You said that we could draw a circle to bring anybody we wanted within reason to us. Could we use the circle to call Sabek's soul and shove it back into his body?
The circle is for the conch of teleportation, is to bring those people with you to the city of Maelstrom.
Oh.
So
Azra looks at Lunara with a slightly approving eye, but still kind of like, oh, why don't you guys like me? Like, I'm good like this. Come on.
I like you just fine, Azra, but you can get your own body. You can get your own body.
Mortals.
I'm actually kind of surprised that you guys don't like Azra more than Sabek.
I've got.
I think I like Azra more than Sabek. As somebody that I would want to chill out with, definitely Azra.
Yeah, more of a fun, less danger. Well, actually, never mind.
He's danger, but he would get you into fun danger. He would get you
True.
into frat party danger.
True. Are we like on the floating castle right now?
Sure, let's go ahead and say that. I
Okay.
don't know if I have the map around for that. Do you guys want me to pull you over to the floating castle map?
No, unless there was something specific that you wanted to do there, Zach.
Okay.
So is the ship?
No, not really. I just wanted to give myself mental imagery. Right now, I'm seeing
Mhm.
Azra leaning over one of the railings, like scooping at the clouds and trying to eat them.
Oh, very good. Well, and I think since Azra is a dragon, I think he can sometimes just kind of fly around in the clouds and try to eat them up, and get very
Yeah.
sad when he just gets wet instead.
Aw.
So I had one other follow-up question for my religion roll.
Mm-hmm.
I just straight up want to ask Sebek or Azra because I'm still
Yes.
not sure of what it is, like who you are. Like I'm very scared that my dad's gonna die, and you died, and you're still here. Can you teach him to do that too?
Well, see, there was this process that this body went through that enabled me to do what I'm doing, and
Ooh.
I
Pause.
can't-
Can I sidebar with you in another channel for a second?
sure,
Oh
Okay.
wow. Okay.
uno momento.
Okay, I didn't realize that was gonna go to a place, but okay, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Shit.
I'm creating a sidebar voice channel.
Wow. Okay, I didn't. Think
This
that
is
was-
awkward for the rest of us. I guess we'll just have to like mingle and
Yeah, it's like one
give
of
some
those things where
time.
we asked a question and they just ran away.
That's right.
Yeah,
have
it's
to
like,
run
so,
away and
can
talk
you
about
teach my
this.
dad to not die, and he just kind of took a sliding like leap off the side.
Mm.
Man. It's like I could tell you that, or I could go. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that he has some decent feedback for that. At least like a hint. Maybe there's something else we could do, like post game credits.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd get so attached, but he's kind of like a little nerd, and I'd like to make sure
I
he's
know.
okay.
I don't want to see him go. I'll like never stop blaming myself.
Did any of you have any other questions? I mean, like, I'd be happy to ask on your behalf.
How about our ship? Is that being repaired? Is it in dry dock or the repair shop?
I think that there was talks that we could possibly get people to come pick it up.
Okay. I think we should try and arrange that. Take care of that. It might cost. Might be handy to have that ship again in the future.
Yeah, do you think that that's something that, like, Hogarth could look at?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Hogard would be interested in that,
But tomorrow, not so much.
but he's not around.
Ronan, to answer your question,
Yeah.
I'm a little foggy about what exactly went down, but there was some sort of event that led to me being here. I can't really say what that is, but I feel like the body kind of has to be alive in order for something like me to come through. So, just saying.
Okay. I'm gonna like slowly back away from Azra because it's still just really awkward to be talking to basically a reanimated corpse.
Sure.
Thanks.
Oop, lost a
I'm-
tooth. It's okay.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm gonna like put, I'm gonna fake gag and I'm just gonna turn around and run away.
Well, we dove face first out that glass, and it just kind of hit my mouth on the way down. I I'm not rotting or anything. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Fam, I'm all the way back in the infirmary. I am hanging by my dad. I'm done.
Right. So Ronan, I also want to say, and I mean, God, I hope that this is like actually relatively medically realistic. I think that what's his name? Valhyros, he is paralyzed from the waist down, but he doesn't seem to be in like immediate danger beyond that. He doesn't seem to be deteriorating. Is that the term people use when a medical situation is getting worse?
Yeah, like he doesn't have an infection in his legs, does he?
He seems like he's healing. He's just got some
Like his back will heal?
No. Probably not.
Daddy ain't got no legs no more. Oh
Yeah,
my fault.
I would think at this point,
Ronan, do you want me to try to put a little bit of me into him?
No,
Do-
get away from my dad.
I'm gonna hold
I
my
can.
hand.
I'd be happy to
No,
do things.
No,
Gross.
especially not with those noises associated with them. Leave.
Yeah, no itchy tasty.
All
Jesus
right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I really appreciate the gesture. I'm gonna. I'm gonna stay by my dad's side. I think Ronan has resigned himself to not leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
I'm chilling there too.
Really?
Yeah, like this is kind of like shaking Ronan in a way that Ronan hasn't seen before. Like the idea that one dad can get hurt like that, like he should just have been able to teleport, and like that shouldn't have been a problem. And
Interesting.
It's kind of like earth-shattering to see, 'cause for the most part, the only big hero Ronan has in his life is his dad, as sad as that may be. So,
All right.
Ronan's like really crushed, and he's just trying to keep a good face. And Azra / Ghost Sebek didn't have really good information, or rather, the information he wanted to hear. So like, unless Sephiroth is trying to make some robot legs, I don't think Ronan is going to leave.
Just curious. Side note. Like, what were you looking? Were you hoping to like bind Valhyros to an astral spirit or something, and like make that give him the ability to walk or something, or?
You knew something, or on the other side, you knew another being. Like, if Wex were here, I think
Gotcha.
that would be a little different, and the conversation would have gone like, "Hey, what magic stuff can we do to make this happen?" And then let's go to the adventure and figure that out before we leave.
Gotcha.
Since
Yeah, Azra knows something
conversation-
needs to happen, but he's not sure.
Yeah, it's
What?
like, I'm not mad at you, Azra. I'm still freaked out by you. But I really appreciate you just being as honest as possible. It's just like now the crushing reality of like looking at
Oh, no problem.
someone with no legs now is just kind of like weighing over top of him. So I don't know. It's like
Wait.
I'd like to just stay there and be
Hold
very
on a minute.
sober.
I didn't have to tell you the truth.
Oh no!
No, there's this
What?
There's this
Something
thing called
terrible has
lying.
just happened.
What is lying?
Don't
So-
teach him what lying
What is
is.
Lunara? Stop! What's lying?
Lying is basically how
I'm
we've
only
made
the one
money
allowed to lie.
our entire life. We use lies
Oh,
to
Sabi didn't like
save-
money, so.
Oh well, if you want to make money, you're gonna want to lie a lot.
But you're not allowed to lie to
Huh.
us. It's friend code. It's illegal to lie to friends, and I will take you to jail.
You mortals, real interesting.
Gimble's
I'll
like
think on that.
scratching his chin because he's like also heard this concept for the first time.
Oh wow.
Tell me more. What? How often should you lie?
I mean,
Every day. Keeps
all
the
the
doctor away.
time, honestly.
Huh?
But who knows? That also
Is
might
it-
be a lie too.
Oh god.
Is it better to tell big lies or small lies?
The bigger the better.
Ooh.
I'm over Marcy.
Okay,
Hey,
let's
hey,
use the
that was
conch,
good.
and I'll go tell everyone that I'm a giant, and then we'll be okay. Everything will be over.
That might work out. I didn't realize.
I feel
that,
so
like,
free.
we could
Excellent.
imprint on Azra anything
I
we
love-
wanted.
I love how similar Azra and Gimbal are.
Such a good
They have
dynamic.
very similar chaotic
Indeed.
energies. Okay, so
I did want to ask about Zybek's soul. Did we have an idea of a location or something, or what do we know or feel about his soul not being here anymore?
Azra points straight up.
he died. Like he was in a fight and he had his like back snapped and was just like pummeled with a huge mace like several times after he went down. And he's only alive now because his like dragon half is ghost riding the whip.
So when that question was asked, Azra pointed straight up and then looked kind of quizzically and then pointed straight down and then pointed this finger out laterally and just started spinning all around.
So it doesn't.
That's where
seem a
Sabek is.
Doesn't seem a practical thing to bring Sabek's to cure him or bring his soul back. He's dead.
Yeah. Ronan's answer was that according to local like religion, his soul would have left his body, passed through the astral realm, and ended up in the far plane. So his
That
soul
sounds pretty truthy.
probably somewhere in that region, somewhere in that journey, assuming that local religion is factually correct.
I wonder if we might seek advice from a cleric on this matter.
We could probably double down there. What would you guys think about? So, Mikhail, it sounds like Ronan wants to find somewhere he can help his dad settle down, because
Yes.
Vilhyrus doesn't have a home, and your clan is kind of like drifting in the wind right now. Like you guys don't know where the clan is. So what do you guys think about finding maybe one of Vilhyrus's exes to leave him with, or maybe finding like a friendly elven village?
Knock, knock, knock. I want to leave this crippled guy with you here. Is that okay? Later. No, really. Sorry.
Don't be ableist. He has value.
We should take him to Arakan.
Ooh. Okay.
Is that viable? Can that happen?
I mean, I don't really see Valeros being in a position where he can fight his way out of it if he's unhappy about it, but Arakan's the only one I trust with him, and I'm not leaving him anywhere else.
Okay, I would be fine with that.
Okay. I love that. Okay, so that is a little complicated because that barbarian tribe doesn't have a set like home. And the last place that you saw them at was a like annual gathering point, but it was not where they live. But I think if you go to, you guys take a few weeks, or a few days at least, you visit a few towns in the area and you ask around. Some people can tell you where you will usually find that tribe living in this time of year. And you will be able to grab some of your axe beaks. Nope. Oh boy. Hey, did you guys leave all your axe beaks on the airship?
Oh no!
Axe beaks?
Oh,
The party's chocobos.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think we made a conscious decision.
No.
To...
Can we
No, we didn't.
can we say that we
Turn
didn't
around.
leave them,
How far have
but
we gone? Is it only
somebody
been
noticed a
10
bunch of
minutes?
feathers around Azra's mouth.
No. I was thinking if we were going to go in this direction, that I would say as the ship was tipping forward, the chocobos all got out on deck and just kind of if you've ever seen a chicken that is airborne, they're not flying. They're very far from flying.
They're just
But
flapping.
they're not quite falling.
Yeah.
So I think that they probably got out like that, but
Ran
I do
off.
think that they were like far gone by the time that you guys got around to looking for them.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay, so you guys would have to journey on foot for a part of it. You guys find the barbarian village. I can't remember which clan he was off of the top of my head.
Neither can I.
But in any case, you find his clan, and I will go ahead and say that he has enough political influence in his clan that he can convince them to take somebody in. Aeneas, I want you to tell me how smoothly that conversation would go. We don't need to role play it or anything, but how well does it go?
I would think that it was probably. Ooh, I think that it took a little bit more convincing, and Lunara's awful at convincing, as we have seen throughout this entire campaign.
Yeah.
But basically, I would think that she rolled in there, was just like, hey, what's up? Great to see you again. So, by the way, I've got Dad in the car, and he's pretty fucked. And I was wondering if you could, like, chill and, like, take care of him and, like, kind of keep him here until I get back. I'm coming back. I'm definitely coming back. I'm not going to die. I promise. I might die, but don't think about it too much. Anyways. So, is that cool? Is that something that you think we could do? And Arakon's just like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. And then Ronan kind of comes out the cuff and he's just like, hey, so you should really do this. And Arakon's like, okay, I'll do this.
Okay, question for Mikhail here. Is Ronan going to stay behind? If you choose to do this, you will be without a character for, like, a game. But, we'll have Wex back before too long. If you want to go the other direction, I think it would be totally cool to have both Ronan and Wex in the last level. But how do you feel? How do you feel like it goes?
If I can get concrete assurance that he's not just gonna leave like my dad sitting in a corner with like a party hat on, then I'm cool with coming. I just need to make sure.
I mean,
that
he's
okay,
your
or else
brother,
I'm like,
and I think that even though your dad was super, super shitty to him, I think that Ronan has no reason to believe that he's like a bad person or anything. He was always a good person in an abusive household.
Yeah, I'm just like I have to make just a veiled threat that if a single hair on his head, if his ninja headband is askew when we return. I don't know what I'll do, but
You're gonna get the Chidori.
Yeah, basically. Like, I've been watching Dad. I think I can do it now. Yeah. So like I'll go as long as he's willing to give me assurance that like he'll make sure Dad's okay.
Yeah, and I think Arkan is kind of like, well, even though he would absolutely deserve it, I'm not going to kick a man while he's down. And who knows, maybe this will be a good growing experience for him, and he'll, learn to be less of a douche.
I'm just gonna hold my hand up and go like, let's not go too far, but maybe he'll be a little bit better.
I feel like we might come back later. He might be begging us, get me out of here.
Dad, do you remember the summer that you took us to
oh yeah, I remember it very well. Uh-huh.
Christ. It goes about as well as that.
We didn't find the place till like late at night. It was like 8 o'clock at night. Saw all these barefooted hippies standing around eating apples because I think it was like apple season. And the kids just said, "Dad, punch it!" I said, like, no, we've driven like 3 hours to get here.
I mean, it was a cool.
It was a good time. It was good.
Jesus.
Yeah. Kids were all frightened as hell.
It was wild. Okay. All right. So you guys deal with Vilhairos. While you're there, so Arakan is a kind of assistant cleric or an assistant village priest, and he has the great marabout of the Uthgard barbarians. So this is like the God, I hate this metaphor. Is not a good parallel, but he's kind of their barbarian society's equivalent of like a pope. Like he is the priest of priests. Is Arakan's mentor. So if you guys wanted somebody to talk to about spirituality, he might be a good resource.
Yeah, can we ask him if there's a way to get Sabek's soul back into his body? Because Azra's stealing it right now. He's a thief.
Hey!
Okay,
I am not a thief. I was already here, okay? If it wasn't for me, this would be nothing but a meat bag.
That's true.
It's true, but still.
Hey, Zai.
Yes.
Sidebar?
No.
Sure.
Gimbal looks around at all of you and says, "He's still here," and then winks at Wes as if he's lying.
I mean, Ronan is very flattered that you're trying to figure it out. If you want some tips, I'd be happy to show you Better Lying for Dummies, which is a book that I'm starting. And I can give you the first chapter for just 15 gold.
I mean, you're lying right now, right?
I mean,
You'd have to pay him to find out. Give him the 15 gold.
Lenar's taken the course, and she's amazing at lying.
You've already taught me everything I need to know.
But how do you know?
I feel like you're lying.
Might be.
I might be. Can we start a liars club?
We absolutely can.
In fact, we started the Liars Club during the sidebar, so they can't be part of it.
Hello.
Oh.
We're in the liars club now.
No. There's no Liars Club.
Sidebar has been completed. Okay, so you guys asked this the Great Marabout what is happening with Sabek's soul, and I think he gives a kind of overview of Sabek's body. I think he does a fairly thorough one-on-one interrogation isn't the right word, but questioning of Azra about, like, you know, what he feels and what he knows and what he remembers of the death experience, and
Which was very frustrating because Azra just learned about lying.
oh. Yeah, this guy can read lies, but it does mean that it was just a deeply frustrating experience. So after all of that, and then would Azra consent to letting this guy look over the body and kind of meditate on it, not like cast a spell on it or anything, but
Does he ask that in front of the party?
I think he would ask this during the one-on-one, and I'm kind of taking some liberties. I'm hoping that Azra could at least be convinced to do a one-on-one. Maybe he offers him, he has just like a pile of like raw meat, and he's kind of just like, giving Azra like a little meat treat every 5 minutes.
Yeah, Azra has no like mortal sensibilities, so Azra's just like, sure, no harm, and just strips buck naked.
Oh, fantastic. And I like to imagine there's a scene where it's kind of like well, you came in here about a cough. You didn't really need to take your pants off, but
And I think that when Azra returned to the party, he had not yet put on his clothing.
and the guy is desperately trying to get a bathrobe around him with no success. Okay, so he gets back to you guys with his report, and he says, so he was able to cast some divination magic and divine the status of Sabek's soul. And Sabek's soul is not in the astral plane. He cannot see as far as the far plane. Perhaps no mortals can see that far. But if he's not in the astral plane, it means he's in the far plane.
God.
However, he got a read based on the things he heard from Azra. He has the impression that Sabek's body is still it's still a sufficient host for Sabek's spirit. So if his spirit, when somebody dies, their spirit is kind of expelled from their body with a fair amount of force, and they need to have good motivation to come back. But it is possible for souls to come back to this plane even after crossing over, if they are motivated. And so someday it is possible that Sabek's soul could return, and when that day comes, if his soul is, reunited with his body, then it will begin healing on its own, and the body should return to its natural status eventually. But yes, unfortunately, because they don't know where Sabek's soul is on the other side, and unlike most ghosts, he's not in the equivalent of purgatory where they can reach out to him. He's too far away for us to reach out to him. He would need his own motivation for his soul to come back to his body. In the meantime, there's not much you can do about it.
Okay. I was basically, the only question I had left was, is there anything that we could do, even if it's he has to make his own decision? Is there anything we could do that makes the body that Azra's inhabiting a conduit, so Sabek's soul would be able to find it easier? Oh, there's my body. I'll get to it when I feel like it.
I kind of think that kind of thing would already happen. I'm here. We're cool.
Yeah. So, Azra or Sabek should have a natural harmony with his body. So if his soul comes back to the physical plane at any point, it should be naturally drawn to his body.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away.
Anybody
That's
want some of
nuts.
this meat?
No.
No? Lunara?
You're good.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
Gimbal goes, "This guy's the best," and then winks at.
Fuck.
Here you go, Gimbal. Throws a piece of meat over at Gimbal.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, I'm going to share a wink with Gimbal myself. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab
Why
it for
Gimbal
myself,
crazily right now.
but I'm gonna take a big bite.
You
Okay.
guys don't eat all my meat, but I appreciate it.
Gimbal whispers to the liars group, "That's some good line there, crew."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just want to give him the thumbs up.
You're doing so good. Proud of you, champ.
They grew up so fast.
I know.
So, Ronan, at this point, I want to go over Ronan's motivation for staying with the group. Because I love the idea of Ronan staying with them, but his motivation was pretty much just to, like, either find his dad or, like, you know, help the town out because he didn't really know what else to do. Why? What do you think the reasoning ends up being that Ronan stays with the party?
I think the stuff with Valhyros has kind of snapped him out of whatever stupor he's been in, just wandering around and traveling to make the troop his whole motivation. Without the troop as a cornerstone now, I would see like Ronan cares a little bit more about finding out details about his sister. Like, it's been some time, and it's been long enough that he'd want to know the kind of person she's become.
And is it fair to say that although he would never admit it, there's a degree of him wanting to look out for her? I mean, you know, if she's about to run off and do this dangerous thing, he doesn't want her to be doing it alone.
I mean, we initiated the Liars Club so that we could tell lies openly. So yeah, I would just lie to her and be like, yeah, you know, duh, I want to be here and help you, right? Wink.
And I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. I totally care about you as a brother. Wink.
Duh. Okay, well, I'm gonna help you, sis. Let's go.
God, this family is the worst, and I love them. Okay, so the side tangent. I want you guys to know that my two cats are on the floor of the kitchen, a little bit away from me, and they have pulled down the empty bag of cat food onto the floor, and one of them is trying to nuzzle his way into it, so he pushes the cat food away from him, and then the other cat on the other side tries to nuzzle his way into it and pushes the bag back, and they've just been pushing the bag back and forth trying to get in to the empty bag of cat food for like 10 minutes. It's wonderful. All right, kiddos. I think we've covered everything that needs to happen right now. Does that feel right?
Are we allowed to do our restock and get gear and potions and stuff before we go?
I was gonna say that I think that the last thing that happens before you guys leave is you like go to a town and maybe you guys take some like adamantium that you harvested from the destroyed corpse of the Vindendode, and you guys are able to sell it for like basically as many heal potions as you need. At this point, I kind of want to say that you guys have effectively an unlimited amount of healing potions, because going into like last level territory, first of all, if we were doing this campaign normally and we were like tracking gold and stuff, you guys would have a crazy amount of gold and you could just buy a shit ton of heal potions. Also, going into last level territory, the boss, it's whether or not you use a healing potion is going to come down to, do I have time to take a healing potion right now, and not like, ooh, but do I have enough left? So I'd rather not have to worry about micromanaging that. Cool?
I mean, that works.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I think that'll work out well for everyone. I don't think it'll feel cheap or anything.
Ah.
Okay, so you guys have all that stuff. Valhyros absolutely wants to come with you guys as part of the entourage that goes down to Maelstrom, and Harshnag insists as well. Valhyros pushes back on him at that, and he says like, no, you're still recovering, like you really should be resting. And
Wait,
Harshnag
real
is
quick,
like,
is this a conversation between Harshnag and Zephyros or Harshnag and Valeros?
fuck, sorry, that's
Okay,
what I
I'm
meant.
sorry, I was so confused.
Oh my god, yes, Harshnag and Zephyros, stupid names all sounding the same.
Sorry for that.
I'm about to say, it's like, are the two hurt people really talking about how they're gonna come down to help?
No. So, Zephyros insists on going to Maelstrom, and Harshnag insists on going with him. There's a back and forth, and eventually Harshnag says like, "No, I'm doing well enough right now, and I want to see this through to the end." So
I kind of want to like pull Harshnag aside and just be like, I'm fine with you coming along, but I would really prefer if you stay on the back lines because I don't want anything bad to happen to you. I can't take it again.
I think he anytime that like you want to do this, I think he kind of squats down into an almost cross-legged position, and he's very like he does his best to get down to your level, so he's not like, you know, talking down at you. And he says you know, I've always liked you, Lunara, and I appreciate it.
Oh gosh!
Thank you for looking out for me. And he offers you a hand. The hand is the size of like a kitchen table.
It doesn't matter. I'm taking it. I'm holding on to it for dear life. I love him.
I think he realizes that shaking hands is not going to work, and he gives you a kind of like hand hug.
Oh!
Just grabs
okay.
your entire torso. Just
I mean,
like a salt shaker.
He's like holding me like King Kong holds the lady.
So you guys are about the size of like a house cat in relation to him. So that is the size dynamic to keep in mind there.
Wow, he's a lot bigger than I remember then. Damn.
He is 21 feet tall.
Okay.
Zephyros is 18 or 19 feet tall.
Wow.
Okay,
so-
then I think we're more like medium-sized dogs then. Not a house
Okay,
cat.
sure.
Small.
You guys are maybe the size of like a house cat in terms of mass. If a house cat was standing on two legs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the rule of thumb whenever I'm working with giants is I just triple human scale. So a giant sword is 3 times in every dimension the size of a human sword.
Gotcha.
Giant house is 3 times in every dimension the size of a human house, etc. Okay. So I think that just in case, because he doesn't want any chance of it being disturbed, Zephyros's suggestion is that you guys get in the castle. You get the castle into a like casual orbit, and casual orbit being the cloud. He basically puts it in just like a holding pattern in the sky. Like it's not gonna go anywhere. He's gonna know how to get back to it. He draws the ritual circle on the floor and asks who wants to do the honors.
Ooh, me.
Ooh! Ooh!
Okay, it is worth noting.
Come on.
The conch cell is sized for a giant to blow, which means it is about I think it's about maybe 5 feet in like 5 feet long and like 4 feet in the other dimensions. It's a big fucking conch.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to take a swing at it, Lunara?
Yeah. I would just like
Okay.
to ask that maybe Harshnag holds onto it extra carefully so it doesn't crush me.
Okay, yeah. Harshnag gets a good grab on it. Oh, and by the way, you guys have had a good look at Harshnag's arm. And they fill you in on the story about how the other two helped them get set up with this sick arm right before they just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. And it is very it's a little I'm gonna say Full Metal Alchemist is the direction to go with this. I was tempted to say that it was a little bit more like steampunk than that.
This little Alfonsi.
Yeah, it's somewhere between.
I mean, that makes more sense because this is fantasy world. It's more medieval. So
yeah, it's somewhere between like standard Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist in the movie from the first series where they have like fucking high end real world prosthetics made of like wood.
Yeah,
It's somewhere in that spectrum.
that was a weird movie.
It was a really interesting. I think that I'm glad that they did it. I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad they did it in the original Full Metal Alchemist TV series, which was already kind of just a like. I'm not concerned about like they can do whatever experimental shit they want with that one, and then Brotherhood is like our beautiful, perfect canon.
Indeed.
God, I love Brotherhood.
We're watching that right now.
Oh, rewatching?
Again. We're watching Brotherhood through again. Oh, Aeneas for the first time, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Aeneas.
I know.
That's a treat. Okay. So you guys have a slight diversion where you guys and Harshnag talk about how far each of you are from Metal Alchemist. And then Lunaria jumps up. She can kind of stick her like whole face into the horn's like mouth hole, and you kind of just like puff into it, and nothing really happens.
Aww, I'm sad.
Maybe from the other end, and Azra motions as if maybe farting into it would produce a loud enough sound. Just gonna let this happen? Okay, I'm gonna do it.
So yeah, he says, well, it doesn't seem like you guys are gonna be able to do it. I'm comfortable with either of us doing it. Sabek, are you able to get big? Maybe you wanted to try that?
Side note, we don't have to sidebar or anything, but Sabek was in like half dragon form when he kind of died. I don't feel like I feel like that body would be limited to that form. Like I wouldn't be able to go into human looking form or full dragon form because the body is.
We actually had a conversation afterwards about which form you were in.
Did we? I completely forgot that conversation.
It also that was like in the middle or like right at the end of the battle, and we hadn't like thought it through very far. If you want to say he's kind of stuck in like half giant or half dragon mode, I love that. I like that for right now.
Yeah, like he's kind of big, but not real big. Like maybe a foot higher than he would be normally in like pure human form. But
yeah, no, that's great.
So I think Azra would respond with, "Well, I could give it a shot," and then slightly extends the dragon wings, and they're kind of creaky and don't look very stable.
Oh God.
And then he says, "Like, maybe this is the best idea."
Okay, he says like, all right, well in that case, he nods to Zephyros, and Zephyros goes on down and picks up the conch and gives it a deep blow, and it is full blown epic like war horn echoing off into the distance sound. And I think you kind of have to like squint your eyes and cover your ears as the sound washes over you, and as your vision clears, you guys are going to find yourself in a different place. Give me a second. I think I want to do Fog of War here. Okay. Okay. You guys see, you guys don't see anything now, right? You're just like black screen?
What in the hell is...
Yes, just black screen.
Okay. Also, there's a good conversation happening about FM Brotherhood, I think.
Yeah.
Click,
Ooh.
click. Yeah, you can see it, can't you?
I'm gonna sign back in as a player because I haven't looked too closely at it and I don't want to see it.
There's actually not much spoilers in here, for what it's worth. But I figure the experience is probably better if it's somewhat.
Yeah. Okay. Everything's dark now. I'm back in as a player.
Awesome. Now, if you guys zoom around, there should be one part where the map is revealed.
Zooming all the way out. Come on,
I
map.
see a black screen still.
Yeah, I'm mostly seeing just all black.
Yep.
There should
Same.
be a
Yep, all black.
There should be a revealed section in the top left.
There's definitely not.
Oh, fucker. Hold on.
No.
We turn off dynamic lighting. Okay. Now do you see a revealed section?
Refreshing. That's a nectar, Captain.
Really?
I see it.
Okay.
Do you? Huh.
Top
Yeah,
left.
I refreshed again and
Yeah, I see. I refreshed
it's
the whole
supposed to be
page.
like kind of blurry.
Oh, here it is. Okay, I see
Okay.
it.
So, you guys, you're like, you hear this like echoing mighty horn blast wash over you, and it kind of washes over you in waves that are eerily reminiscent of the ocean, for those of you who have been to the ocean. And then you feel yourself falling, and you guys splash into a body of water. You're splashing around. Once you get yourself comfortable, I think that you're probably treading water. You see that Harshnag and Zephyros are both standing in a pool about up to their mid thighs, which is just over head height for most of you. Sabek, maybe if he stretches out, can keep his head above the water, but most of you guys are gonna have to paddle. You are in a large room that appears to be part of a natural like cave system in shape, but it has like reliefs carved into the wall, but they look almost as if they were carved by the water itself. They look almost natural in the way that these reliefs pull themselves out of the stonework. There are some giant clams and some faintly drifting oceanic plant life that you guys surely don't recognize. There's a hallway on the eastern side of the room, and at the mouth of that hallway, there is a cloud giant. You recognize them in that they look very similar to Zephyros, and two other armored giants flanking them. And this giant was kind of just leaning against the wall, working on a pad of paper, and they are very surprised to see you guys. and so they have kind of perked up and are slowly coming over to you. Do you guys do anything right now to react?
Hold on.
Well, I think we want to talk to him, but yeah, hold on for a second.
Okay. Also, so I don't want to get too far into this game. I think we're going to, we're probably going to end before too long. Make it a fairly short game so that next time we can start right at the heart of things. God, and there was one other thing I wanted to say. All right. Well, I can't think of it right now. Oh, okay. Okay. So, what are you guys thinking? Is everybody going to try to get to dry land?
Yes, because I don't
Azra's
like
just
being in
kind of
water.
Azra is loving it and is just kind of flopping around and just giggling to himself slash itself.
Actually, I think I like it better that I'm very good on land, but I have no idea what to do in water. I think I'm drowning.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
that's
feel like
wonderful.
Lunara's freaking out too, and so she's like, "Arshnag, pick me up! I can't swim, and I don't want to say I can't swim. It's just like I'm having trouble."
Yeah, I
Harshnag
literally just
is-
reach around and put my arms around freaking Azra's
Oh my-
neck.
Okay. So,
Hey,
so Zephyros, I
this is
think,
fun.
scoops down and picks up all the people who are really struggling.
Gimbal turned into a fish. He's just swimming
Yeah,
around.
Gimbal pulled some old shit out.
That's
Gimbal
really cool.
can turn aquatic. So Gimbal adapts aquatically and yeah. And
So
Gimbal has skills now.
the giants that took notice of us, do they look like they're coming to start something?
Nope. The giant who is walking over to you is not one who is armored and armed. They look like they're probably some kind of secretary. Or some kind of bureaucrat. They have like a shit. It's like a pad of wood and paper goes on top of it.
Clipboard.
That, yeah. And they're walking over and looking skeptically, and they look up at you
on the
and
list.
they say, well, hello. The General Assembly has already begun, and I don't believe we were expecting any more visitors.
As I'm
Yeah.
drowning, I'm just gonna shout out Liars Club. Gimbal, Liars Club.
We
Yeah,
have
you
a
see, we actually received a last-minute invitation. It got lost in the mail, and so we really RSVP'd super late, and I'm so sorry about the inconvenience. But if you could just join and not really raise any suspicions, it's fine.
Azra doesn't
Sorry.
realize the need for consistency and lies and just blurts out, "We're tiny giants. Hello."
Gimbal pops out his head out of the water. He's like, yeah.
I think Tamara thinks there is a lot of important information that we have that we need to share with the council.
Tamara is the only one taking this seriously.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think that they're a little thrown off for a second, and then they look up to Zephyros and Harshnag, both of whom kind of roll their eyes, and Zephyros explains that you guys do have business that you need to talk to.
Bryn, you cut out. Are you there?
Now? Can you hear me now?
Ah, there you
I
go.
can hear you now.
Zephyros explains that that y'all have information that you need to discuss with whoever is in charge at the moment. And the person looks very concerned, and then he sees that you do have a Conch of teleportation.
That's
So
right.
you're allowed to come, and eventually they just shrug and they're like, well, all right. You can I guess you can step this way. I will note that because you are unexpected guests, our protocol is to have you be observed by guards at all time. If you cause any trouble, I recommend you don't cause any trouble.
Don't tell me what
That's a
to
good
do.
recommendation, but yeah, don't tell us what to do.
No, do tell us what to do. Wink.
What is this trouble you speak of?
Okay.
I have a conch. You're being disrespectful.
They have started walking down the hall.
They're not even listening to us. They're just listening to the other giants in the group.
Adults are speaking.
And as they go, they introduce themselves. They say, my name is Fella, they, them, and I will be introducing you to the General Assembly just as soon as we get there.
Are there any snacks?
Here you go, Lunara.
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So I think that Fella says, yes, we will have snacks. Just a moment. Let me click my.
Ooh.
You know they're about to be giant snacks, like one whole big Cheez-It.
Oh, that's so much better than what I had in mind.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like Lunara would she'd go for it anyways. Like, I'm gonna eat this whole Cheez-It myself. It don't matter.
Not gonna lie.
I'm thinking
that Cheez-It.
I'm
Me
thinking a
too.
Cheez-It is the size of a briefcase. I think we can handle it.
Oh, totally, yeah. So, Fella, and I am totally gonna forget that name if I don't write it down.
I'm gonna remember it because I love it.
Fella is the name of the love interest from the Kingkiller Chronicles. No, that's not her name. That's a different girl. But Fella is in that series, and she's amazing.
Just best where they're like, "Hey, I'm Fella." Like, well, hey, Fella, I'm Guy.
Fella is not a fella. Okay, so they get into the room and they say, if you would kindly, you can stay here while I go announce you. We do have snacks and hors d'oeuvres, and they're going to walk over to one of these tables and grab a plate, which they hand to the two giants, and then they walk over to another table and they grab a plate, which they pass down to the group of you guys. And on it, it has among other things, just like a sandwich that is it's kind of like the size of one of those like 3 foot like massive sandwiches that you would get at like a joke for a party or something, except it's also just super tall and super wide.
Wow.
And they're going to say, all right, if you would wait here, please, I will be right back. And they walk off down the hall. Do you guys do anything?
Harshnag, can you cut my sandwich for me? It's a little big.
Yeah, I feel like we're feasting.
Azure definitely is. Just face firsting and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Harshnag seats himself cross-legged next to you guys and pulls out his belt knife. he lost his right arm, correct? Because he was holding his axe with it, and she bit off his axe arm.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So you can see him kind of fumbling with this knife. He's kind of like he is able to get the prosthetic to work, but it kind of moves in like jolty little movements, and he has to he moves his hand over where he needs to cut, and then he has to like very carefully position it just right, and then he can start like sawing back and forth. But it's a very deliberate, very measured action, and you can tell he's like really concentrating while he's doing this. And yeah, he cuts these up for you into I think they're kind of like because I think they're about 10 inches wide and about 10 inches tall. And I think he cuts them into footlongs. So it's still a journey to get into one of these sandwiches. But I think you're not able to eat it like a sandwich. You kind of just have to eat it like a piece of bread, and also like an entire like pork roast, and also like an entire salad's worth of lettuce, like that. Okay. Okay, so fella comes back after a minute, and they say, well, the assembly is a little busy right now, but they're very interested about what you guys might be doing here, and so they have given the all right for you guys to come in. Fella looks very kind of confused about all of this. Do you guys go with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
We came this far.
Def.
Okay. All right.
I'm so glad they're not expecting us. I love making an entrance.
God. Okay, give me a second. I am just shuffling things around. Guard goes here. Guard goes here. Polygon reveal. Alright. Click, click. Okay, that's the room that you guys are currently standing in. And let's do a reveal of this room. By the way, the lighting in this area is there are what appear to be like glass bowls of water that are attached to some of the walls like lamps, and they are glowing with a fluorescent blue. Okay. Click, 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 click.
I do just want to say, as a little side note, while you're still getting things set up, this map is so good. I love it so much.
It's so cool. This one I can't take credit for. This is one of the pre-made maps, but I did make custom sprites for every giant in here. Or rather,
Ooh.
I had existing sprites, and then I did coloring and modding to make them appropriate for giants.
Yeah, the sprites are awesome. I like this one right here. This guy.
Oh yes. Oh, he's a cloud giant. I think my favorite is Vanna, who is.
Is this her?
No, that's
Aw.
Nim. Can you guys see these name tags?
I cannot see their name tags now.
Okay, cool. This is Vanna. I like her. And yes, I am big fans of Mirren and Nim. Okay, so fella comes in and does a formal introduction, and would it be really disappointing if I left it off here?
No. I think we've had a
right
good
now,
amount of exposition and storytelling.
First of all, I think this is a decent cliffhanger end note, or place to cut it. And also, I only vaguely have their speeches and stuff planned, and then as soon as we do that, stuff is gonna start moving really fast in terms of plot. So I think this is a good place to stop it. I know this was probably one of our shortest games ever because we didn't start till 9-ish and we only played till 10-ish. But I hope it was all right.
No, this
I had
phases.
fun.
It was fun. It was fun.
I learned a lot about.
I
my
didn't get to
party.
roll any dice, but I did accidentally click on a spell.
You did.
The Liars Club was born.
The Liars
Azra
Club.
learned about lying.
Mhm.
That was
We
probably a
have a lot
mistake for
of-
you all to teach me lying. Just saying.
So I'm glad that we got a little bit of like quiet time to have some character moments there. And also we got a lot of the like the stuff that had to get done.
Sure.
The stuff that wasn't necessarily part of the like campaign, but like it had to be done for the story to be satisfying.
Yeah.
Also, I want you guys to know that Lindsay baked banana bread.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I am deep in some banana bread right now.
That sounds good.
Okay. So, I will make sure to be amply planned up before our next game.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you guys right now.
Cool.
Well, good game.
I would like to try to play next week. Obviously, it usually doesn't work out that cleanly. We usually do every other week, which is totally fine. But I think, on my part at least, I'm hoping that I will be good to play next Saturday.
This works for me. I don't have any plans.
Yeah, I don't have any plans, so I will be available as well.
Yeah, if you're
Okay.
cool with it, we can shoot for next week.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna head out.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a good weekend.
Well,
Good night, everyone.
See you guys.
bye.
All right, GG.
Bye.